What do you do when the biggest museum in your city says no New York 1929? Gertrude Vanderbilt Whitney offers more than 500 works of modern American art as a gift to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The offer is declined. A door closes and a mandate opens. Here is what we'll trace tonight: why American artists needed a home of their own, how Gertrude built that home from the ground up, and why the Whitney's mission still sounds like a present tense. First, the person behind the name. Gertrude Vanderbilt Whitney wasn't just an heiress. She was a working sculptor and an insistent patron. In 1914, she set up the Whitney Studio in Greenwich Village, giving exhibition space and oxygen to living American artists who couldn't get a hearing in the academies. The goal wasn't decoration. It was circulation works moving into public view while their makers were alive. By 1929, her holdings had grown past 500 works. She tried the obvious route: donate them with a mandate to the Met. The answer, no, didn't end the project. It defined it. If an existing palace wouldn't make room for living American art, she would build a house where that art was the rule, not the exception. So she founded a museum. The Whitney Museum of American Art was established in 1930 and opened in 1931 on West 8th Street. On day one, its core was roughly 600 works from Gertrude's collection, enough to state a point without saying a word. The point was simple: the art of this country now. From the start, the Whitney wasn't just a repository, it was a program. It focused on living American artists, buying work in the year it was made, exhibiting it before consensus could sand the edges off. In 1932, the museum launched a recurring survey of the newest work, the show that would become the Whitney Biennial. The first director, Juliana Force, ran it with the urgency of someone building a bridge while people were already crossing. Why did Gertrude have to found the Whitney? Because American artists were undervalued by the institutions built for other traditions, and because waiting for acceptance would have meant losing a generation. The refusal from the Met wasn't a snub to sulk over. It was evidence that a distinct institution was necessary, one with a sharpened mandate and a door that swung open toward the studio, not the salon. Let's clear two myths. Myth 1: the Whitney began as a Vanderbilt vanity. The record shows the opposite: a sculptor patron building platforms, Whitney Studio in 1914, then a museum in 1930, so that living American artists could be seen and sustained. Myth 2: the Whitney was anti-European. It wasn't a protest. It was a focus. The museum's charge was to develop American art on its own terms, which also meant placing it in conversation with the world, just not overshadowed by it. What did this change? It changed timing. Support arrived while artists were alive. It changed geography. Greenwich Village, not just Fifth Avenue, became a center of gravity. It changed grammar. A museum could be written in the present tense and still hold history. Listen to the cadence of those early years: a studio in 1914, a declined gift in 1929, a museum founded in 1930, doors opening in 1931, a biennial by 1932. That's not drift, that's design. 3 takeaways clean. 1, occupy the gap. When a legacy institution won't hold the work, found the space that will. 2, support the living. Buy in the year of making. Show before consensus. That policy isn't fashion, it's infrastructure. 3, make it recurring. A museum becomes a verb. When its surveys repeat, the biennial is a beat, not a one-off. If you stood on West 8th Street in 1931, you would have seen a modest doorway and a very large idea. American art deserves its own institution, and it will have one. In our next episode, we'll walk that idea forward from the Village to the Breuer years and to the Whitney's move downtown, how architecture kept rewriting the museum's voice without losing its mandate.